Introduction. Light is something that everyone is familiar with. It comes from many sources, the main one being our sun, and it provides us with the energy needed for life. Without it, life as we know it would not exist. The form of energy which helps us to see objects is called light. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to define light, understand the nature of light, understand the reflection of light by a plane mirror, laws of reflection, differentiate between real and virtual image, light and its sources. The form of energy which helps us to see objects is called light. Light travels in straight line. It causes in us the sensation of sight. There are two sources of light: luminous objects and non-luminous objects. Luminous objects. The objects which emit their own light are called luminous objects. Example: sun, lamp, candle. Non-luminous objects. The objects which reflect the light which falls on them are called non-luminous objects. Example: moon, chair, etc. Nature of light. To know how light reflects, refracts, diffracts, and many other aspects, we have to understand the nature of light by its theories. The nature of light has two theories: wave theory of light and particle theory of light. Wave theory of light. Light consists of electromagnetic waves which do not require a material medium for its propagation. Its characteristics features are diffraction, interference, and polarization. Particle theory of light. Light is composed of particles which travel in a straight line at a very high speed. Its characteristic features is reflection and refraction. Light exhibits the properties of both waves and particles. Light has dual nature. Reflection of light. The sending back of light rays when it falls on the surface of an object is called reflection of light. Objects having polished surface reflect more light than the objects having unpolished, dull surfaces. Silver is the best reflectors of light. Reflection from plane surfaces. Plane mirror is a thin, flat, and smooth sheet of glass having a shining coating of silver metal on one side. The silver coating is protected by a red paint. Meaning of important terms are as follows to understand the figure. Incident ray. The ray of light which falls on the mirror surface is called the incident ray. Point of incidence. The point at which the incident ray falls on the mirror is called the point of incidence. Reflected ray. The ray of light which is sent back by the mirror is called the reflected ray. Normal. The normal is a line at right angle to the mirror surface at the point of incidence. It is a line which is perpendicular to the mirror at the point of incidence. Lateral inversion. When an object is placed in front of a plane mirror, then the right side of the object appears to become the left side of image, and the left side of the object appears to become the right side of image. This change of sides of an object and its mirror image is called lateral inversion. Characteristics of an image formed by a plane mirror. The image formed is virtual. It cannot be received on a screen. The image formed is erect. The size of the image is as of the object. The image formed by the plane mirror is at the same distance behind the mirror. The image formed is laterally inverted, sideways reversed. Uses of plane mirror. They are used to see ourselves. They are fixed on the inside wall of certain shops like jeweler's shop to make them look bigger. Plane mirrors are used in making periscopes. They are used at blind turns of busy roads to prevent accidents. Plane mirrors are used as looking glass. They are used in solar cookers. They are used to make kaleidoscope, a toy which produces beautiful patterns from colored paper, pieces of glass, or small colored beads. Laws of reflection. First law of reflection. The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal all lie in the same plane. Second law of reflection. The angle of reflection is always equal to the angle of incidence. Difference between objects and images. Object. Anything which gives out light rays is called an object. Images. Image is an optical appearance produced when light rays coming from an object is reflected from a mirror. Difference between real and virtual images. Real images. The images that can be obtained on the mirror are called real images. Example. Images formed on a cinema screen. It is formed by a concave mirror. Virtual images. The images that cannot be obtained on a screen are called virtual images. Example. Image of our face in a plane mirror. It is formed by concave lens. Did you know visible light has wavelength in a range from about 380 nanometers to about 740 nanometers with a frequency range of about 405 terahertz to 790 terahertz. Light which is emitted and absorbed in tiny packets called photons exhibits properties of both waves and particles. This property is referred to as the wave-particle duality. The speed of light in a vacuum is defined to be exactly 29 crores 97 lakhs 92,458 meter per second, that is 3 into 10 raised to the power 8 meter per second. Mechanisms that can produce light. Scintillation, electroluminescence, sonoluminescence, triboluminescence, Cherenkov radiation. Summary. Let us summarize what you have learned. Light is a form of energy which enables us to see objects. Light exhibits the properties of both waves and particles. Hence, light has dual nature. The process of sending back of light rays which falls on it is called reflection. The change in direction of light when it passes from one medium to another is called refraction. The angle of incidence is the angle made by the incident ray with the normal. The angle of reflection is the angle made by the reflected ray with the normal at the point of incidence. The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Image is formed when the light rays coming from an object meet at a point after reflection from a mirror. In plane mirrors, there is the effect of reversing the sides of an object, and its image is called lateral inversion. Introduction. Kritika and Rahul are brother and sister. One night, Rahul and Kritika stand in their balcony and look at the stars in the sky. Rahul points out to some interesting star patterns. Kritika is thrilled to see them. She asks Rahul to tell her more about the sky. In this lesson, you will learn about heavenly bodies. Objectives. At the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe sun, explain the importance of sun to earth, describe moon, and list important shapes of moon. The Sun. Sun is a bright star. It is very hot and big. It is even bigger than our Earth. It appears small because it is very far. Our Earth goes around the Sun. It takes 1 year to complete one round. Sunrise and sunset. The sun rises in the east and sets in the west. At noon, it is right over our heads. Longest shadows are formed in the morning and the evening. Shortest shadows are formed during noontime when the sun is overhead. Source of heat and light. Sun gives us heat and light. Without it, Earth would be very dark and cold. Plants, animals, and human beings would not be able to live on it. Sun makes life possible on Earth. Stars. The sky also has the moon and other stars. They are seen in the night. They cannot be seen during daytime because the bright sunlight hides them. All stars are made up of gases, including the sun. Star patterns. Stars make beautiful patterns in the sky. Let us look at some interesting patterns. Moon. Moon is the natural satellite of our Earth. It goes around it and takes 28 days to complete one round. It is full of rocks and big holes called craters. There is no water on Moon, so life is not possible on it. Moon does not have light of its own. It reflects the sun's light, therefore it appears bright. It is smaller than the sun, but it appears big because it is nearer to Earth than the sun. Shapes of Moon. The shape of the moon changes continuously as it moves around the Earth. When the moon becomes invisible in the sky, it is called the new moon. When it appears fully round, it is called the full moon. Summary. Let us summarize what we have learned. Sun is a star. The sun provides us heat and light. Earth goes around the sun. Stars are made up of gases. Moon is the natural satellite of Earth. Moon goes around the Earth. Moon reflects sun's light. The shape of the moon changes continuously.
Introduction. Hello friends, I am your friend Rahul. As we all know that our body is made up of several parts. Each part of our body has its assigned job. Similar to our body, a plant also has several parts in its body. Let's learn about parts of a plant and their functions in detail. Objectives. At the end of this course, you will be able to identify the parts of plants, describe the structure and functions of roots, stem, leaves and flowers, explain the functions of roots and seeds. Dear friends, as we can see around us, there are a lot of varieties of plants and trees. They all are green in color and provide peace to our eyes. But have you ever observed a plant closely? You can see some of its major parts, such as stem, leaves, flowers and fruits, above the ground. But do you know that some part is also hidden under the ground? This part is called root. You can see here the parts of the plant and their names. So just drag and drop the names in their respective boxes. Now, let's know the parts of the plant in detail. Let's start with the root. The root is the non-green part of the plant which grows under the ground. Do you know that there are mainly two types of roots? Tap roots and fibrous roots. But what are they? In a tap root, there is a main thick root that grows deeper in the soil. Several weak and thinner roots grow out from this main root. Tap roots are generally found in bean, pea, and mustard plants. But in a fibrous root, a number of almost equal-sized roots are attached to the end of the stem. That is, there is no main root like tap root. This kind of roots is present in grass and wheat. Till now, we have learnt the structure and types of roots. But now the question is, what are the functions of the roots? Friends, actually, roots hold the plant firmly in the soil. They also absorb water and nutrients from the soil and send them to the other parts of the plant. Roots also perform the function of storage of food in some plants such as carrot, radish and turnip. The food prepared by the plant is stored in the roots. We eat these roots and get nutrition. Now let's know about stem. Stem is the green or brownish part of the plant which grows above the ground. It provides support to the plant and bears branches, leaves, flowers and fruits on its body. In young plants, the color of the stem is usually green, but over a period of time and with advancing age, it turns brown in color. Some trees, like banyan and mango, have hard, strong and brown stem. It's called trunk, whereas some trees, such as banana, has a thick but soft and green stem. In some plants, the stems are so weak that they cannot hold the plant upright. Such plant climbs with the help of a support, so they are called climbers. Money plant is the best example of this kind. Now let's focus on the main functions of stem in plants. The water taken in by the roots of the plant travels to the leaves through the stem. This water is used by the leaves to make food. It also carries food made by leaves to all parts of the body. Sometimes the food made by the leaves is stored in the stem as in sugarcane. The other examples are potato and onion. We eat these stems and get nutrition. Next part of the plant is leaf. It is the green part of the plant that is borne on the stem. They are of different shapes. Some are round, some are long, and some are triangular. The surface of a leaf is known as margin, and their margins are also different like their shapes. Some of them have straight margins, while some have uneven margins. The flat part of a leaf is called leaf blade. Each leaf on its leaf blade has a main vein and many small veins connected to it. Through these veins, water is circulated throughout the leaf. Now let's discuss the main functions of a leaf. The main function of a leaf is to make food for the plant. For making the food, they use water, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, and sunlight. This process of making food is called photosynthesis. In this process, oxygen is released. All living things require oxygen for breathing. Some plants, like cabbage and mint, store food in their leaves. We eat these leaves to get nutrition. Now, let's highlight on the most attractive and beautiful part of the plant, that is, flower. They are of different colors. They are of many shapes and sizes. Most of the flowers contain a sweet smell, and when it spreads, it attracts insects and birds. You will be surprised to know that flowers are also called reproductive organ of the plant, as they help plants in the process of reproduction. I know that most of you like fruits. Fruit is the juicy part of the plant. It forms from the flowers of the plant. Fruits are of different shapes, sizes, and colors. Fruits are good for health as they contain many vitamins. Friends, seeds are present inside the fruits. Some fruits like mango have only one seed inside them, while others have many seeds, like in apple and watermelon. Do you know that a new plant grows from a seed? It also stores food for the baby plant. When the seed gets water, air and suitable temperature, it starts growing, and soon it grows into a new plant. Till now you have learnt about different parts of the plant and their functions. Now it's time to have some fun.
Students, you might have seen lotus floating in ponds and lakes. These plants show various adaptations to live in water. Lotus plants have long and hollow stem, which attaches the plant to the base of the pond. Roots are short. Leaves are wide and disc-shaped, thus helps the plant to float on the water surface. Some aquatic plants remain submerged in the water. For example, hydrilla.
Summary. Now, friends, let's summarize what we have learnt. The main parts of a plant are roots, stem, leaves, flowers, and fruits. Stem, leaves, flowers, and fruits grow above the ground, and the roots grow below the ground. Roots hold the plant firmly in the soil. They absorb water and nutrients from the soil and send them to other parts of the plant. The water travels from roots to the leaves through stem. Some stems also store food in some plants. Leaves make food for plants in the presence of water, chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, and sunlight. Flowers are also called reproductive organ of the plant as they help plants to reproduce. Fruit is the juicy part of the plant. It forms from the flowers of the plant. Fruits have seeds inside them. A new plant grows from a seed.